There's been a lot of discussions lately about converting hiking poles to the spreader bars on the Ridge Runner. This is the way that I came up with. I have a set of Lecky Cork poles. I'm using the original buckles. And what I found is I wanted to be able to take this apart and still utilize the adjustable straps that are on your wrist and get it back where it was dressed up so it didn't look like it was all cobbled up. And then when I went to the machine shop to have a machine out a piece of aircraft aluminum to go down in there, I was explaining to him how I wanted it to do. And I picked up the normal spreader bars, and lo and behold, the coupler part on the spreader bars slides right down inside the aluminum shaft, just like that. You can pull it back out. It doesn't have to be seated in there at all. And all I had to do is take these two pins out on the side of my handles, knock them out, and then all the strap part, pardon me, all the strap part that was in here that has this locking mechanism that holds it where it's perfectly adjusted, all that came out just from the two pins. This was covered over in plastic. There was a little tiny hole in the center that allows air to come out when you're putting in your second section. And that keeps it from forming a compression piston when it's trying to lock up in there. So since that hole showed me the center of the shaft, I took this long pocket knife. The long skinny blade works better than the wide one, and I started turning it, redneck drill press if you will, until I had it all removed. And the plastic is pretty soft, so it comes out fairly easy. Just take your time and you'll get a nice round hole. Well, what I found was on the head end of the Ridge Runner spreader bars, there's this little tiny section in the middle. Okay, that piece, without cutting it, without doing anything, slid right down in there. This piece is off of another piece of the spreader bar, and it has little drags on it that keeps it from coming out, and they're a real cramp in the keister to get out. How I got it out was using a piece of fuel line. It was the only thing I could find, and I slipped it down inside spreader bar like this, and power hammered until it knocked it off the end. Now I have a loose piece that I'm going to glue inside of here so that it's permanent. So now we utilize this part of the original spreader bar. And I'll put it back together so I don't lose it before I get it glued. And I'll show you it fits right back into the normal war bonnet suspension. This little part on the hiking pole slides right into that, and this right here is kind of, I don't know what you would call it, but it's not straight, it's just angled out a little bit, and that fits in and fits into the wider part of the hole real nice. Now we'll come down here on the head part. The head part, the way I saw it the first way, was to take this part and put the dowel rod up inside of here, so that when this was fully extended, the same thing that's on the other end with a little piece here would have been here, and I would have stretched this hiking pole out to the where I needed it and cut a section of dowel rod to put in there. I thought, boy, that's going to be a lot of pounding in there with this pushing against that, and I'm not really gaining much if I got to add a dowel rod back for the weight and everything like that. So then it dawned on me to just use, this is the long piece that normally went in the foot end. It's the exact perfect length. When you collapse the pole all the way, none of these locks are holding anything. It's just this, and this, like the other side, Slides right down in there, stays there. And you can slide that into your hole. And you have your perfect little, no cut, no fuss, no muss. All you had to do was pound one of the ends out of it and put it in the small end. And that's it. Then when you want to put it all back together and you don't want to have a cobbled up looking pole going down the trail, you pull this out. You put your strap back in here, which just clips down in. You put a pin in there, it holds it down. You put your top piece that covers this back over, slide the pin in, and your pole's back to just exactly like it was before you even started the mad scientist routine with it. You're hiking down the trail, you get to it, push 2 pins out, all this stuff puts in a bag. You pull out spreader bar, stick it back in the hole. These fit fairly flush here. I like that for the fact that it won't poke a Cuban fiber tarp, but at the same time you'd have to watch it close to make sure it's not out of there. I guess there's really no way for it to stay there unless it's in there. And as far as the stress test, I think it's stronger than the original spreader bars. No problem. Perfect lay. And we saved 6.4 ounces. I've already weighed it. I don't know if it'll be level enough with all this crap on the table. And it's not showing it because a bunch of ropes are up against it on the back. But I weighed it before in the clear. I weighed 6.4. So we've reduced the weight of our spreader bars down 6.4 ounces. Hope this helps you. This is what I came up with. Have a good day.